I can, certainly.
You didn't see me lose my temper for a second and throw my headphones, did you?
I did see that, and then the camera cut out, and it was pretty cool.
Sorry, I lost my temper.
Yeah, you went crazy there. You went loco, buddy.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
I am animated. I am excited. I am happy. My wife said halfway through this movie, if you were to make a movie, this would be the movie that you would make. We're talking about weapons. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
I'm curious to know why this is it for you. This is the one.
Yeah, the overall story structure, how they do it, the characters. Gladys, love Gladys. And with this recording, it has been confirmed that they're doing a Gladys prequel. It's been greenlit. The director is going to do Resident Evil and another picture after that, and then he's going to write to a Gladys prequel. So give me more Gladys. She's my Pennywise. Let's go.
It sounds like this was Amy Madigan's one of her favorite roles. She says that she loved it, and I saw an interview that she's even more flattered that this is something that she got to play where it's now become a Halloween costume. People are going to be dressing up as Gladys.
Old lady with bad hair and big red lipstick?
I mean, it's very, I don't want to say unique because it's almost like a Pennywise, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Pennywise. No, I'm bought hook, line, and sinker. I feel like this will be a good episode, though, because I do have some questions about why things are the way they are. But, dude, I mean, I love the story structure. That's one of the big gets for me, right? It's like everybody had a part that normally doesn't have a part, you know?
Well, I liked this, the way that they told it, just because it seems like there wasn't any one main character. And what's unique about doing all these different cuts and all these different stories that they have revolving around the central story is it changes per the person that it's being told from, right?
Right, which is what I like.
Yeah, because you get some scenes that are overlapping, that are similar to each other, whether it be like the gas station where Justine and Archer are talking and confronting each other at a gas station, and then the principal comes running in, and so you get like different that, or the bar scene with Justine and Paul when they're meeting to have their affair. It's different in her eyes than it is from his eyes, so it's right. It is unique in that part. I do like that.
No, that's what I enjoy. And like my favorite story is James, and we don't get stories like that in these kind of movies, right? Because this movie the reason why it's so large is because if this movie was told in just your standard movie way, I don't think it would be that good. I think it would be very boring. Justine's story, I don't think is really that strong.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that this concept is great. It's very engaging. It draws me in very quick, where you have this mystery of all these kids in one classroom disappear overnight, all at the same time, 2:17 a.m., right? And nobody knows where they're at. And it's something that has the town just shaken up. I like this.
I like the setting. I like the setup. And I find it very interesting that everybody in the town is quick to blame Justine. Call her a witch. One even paints the word witch on her car. But nobody seems to think about Alex, the boy, right? Wouldn't it be kind of weird? Or is it because he's an innocent boy and nobody's going to suspect the boy?
Well, this is kind of the odd thing, right? Is that it opens up this movie with the narration. And I did some research on this. It sounds like this movie had gone through many different test screenings, and they had added a lot to, or removed a lot from this movie. Apparently there were a lot more jokes in this movie, and because he didn't get the response that Zach Krieger, the writer-director, got, that he removed all those, where if it did get the response he wanted, he kept it in. A lot of the narration was not originally added to the story, and so they had to put it in to make things a bit more, I guess, clear for the audience. Same with the ending as well, too. Apparently the ending didn't have that ending narration. They had to add that in for closure because people just thought it was too dark of an ending. So,
but I like that ending, though. I like the OG ending because you don't know, right? Because all we see is the boy being carried away with like just a blank stare in his face. So it's just like, oh, is it because they've been under the spell a longer time? And it's going to take him longer to snap out? I don't need narration to make me think about it. Let my own imagination do that.
Yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs in this movie, and I like that, where it only tells you really what everyone else knows. So I really appreciate that in a movie. It's one of my favorites. I don't like being handheld. I don't like being blatantly told.
Yeah.
I like finding out with the characters in the movie. I think that's a big reason why I liked something we did earlier. Oh, when we did the 28 franchise.
Oh.
Why I like 28 Days Later is because we were finding out with Cillian Murphy, where later on it's like we kind of know, and everyone else, kind of plays like this dumb little rule here, and I don't like that. But yeah, I don't like it when the audience knows more than the people in the movie, because then you criticize them more.
Right. And then when they get criticized, then it makes you not love it as much, right? Does that make sense?
It's because it's as you're watching it, you feel like you know the answer, and you're like, well, why didn't they do that?
Right.
Oh, well, because I know the answer and they don't. Well, that kind of spoils some of the fun there a little bit, right? Where I know the answer, I know the secret, and this person doesn't. I just have to watch them struggle, and it's like, oh man, it's right there in front of you. Just open up the box, open up the chest, or open up the door, and they don't do it because but they don't.
Right.
And it lets you down a little bit.
Right. So let's talk about this director. So I've already said right off the bat, I'm giving this a large. You introduced me to this director with Barbarian a few years ago, which I gave that a large too. This guy is batting 2 for 2. This is his sophomore effort. I'm a big Resident Evil nut. The games, not the movies. And when they said that he's doing Resident Evil as his third project, okay. I mean, there's no sophomore slump for this guy. I'm bought. Shut up and take my money. I enjoy both of these movies this guy's done. Like, I'm not going to go crazy like some people see online, or like, oh, the next Spielberg, the next Tarantino. No, he's not the next anything. He's the next him. Like, he tells stories that are normally not told.
Yeah, no, I like these types of directors where I think we did it earlier with The Naked Gun, where that director is the guy from was it Lonely Island, right?
Yeah.
Where these directors started from, I don't want to say their backyard, but from smaller, kind of passionate projects. So this guy started really with The Whitest Kids You Know.
Right.
That TV series, right? And doing a lot of sketch stuff with him and his buddies, really. And it just seemed like they were having fun doing it. And because of that, he learns how to direct more and more. And, we get a little tip of the hat from one of the sketches in this movie, by the way.
Oh, is it a plot thing, or is this in the background?
No, there is a moment where Marcus, the principal, played by Benedict Wong, and his partner are in their house, and he's making dinner or lunch for them, and he has 7 hot dogs, I guess, and it's paying tribute to a sketch on Whitest Kids You Know, where it's like they call like Timmy Hot Dogs or something like that, where guy goes to the doctor's office and doctor's like, so how many hot dogs do you have in a day? It's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, maybe 5, 6, 7, 7 a day, kind of, progressively kind of just some silly humor like that. So, and what was his name? I think is it Trevor Moore, who was a part of that group. I hope I didn't butcher his name or get it wrong, but he died unexpectedly a couple of years ago. So this was kind of, a little tribute to him.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yes, the movie opens up with, about a year ago, this story happened, a little girl's voice, right? And then at 2:17 in the morning, all the kids from this one class run out of the house with their arms like this, like kind of sticking out, like kind of like wing.
Yeah.
I like to run with my arms behind me so I can get aerodynamic,
That's what they're doing. They're kind of like a Naruto run there, a little anime run.
Is that what they're doing? They're doing kind of like being aerodynamic there,
It's like a V. It's like a downward V.
Yeah. You gotta.
Exactly. I don't know. I know how much anime you watch.
Is that an anime
That's how they
thing?
run.
Is that an anime thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I just reminded. I don't know. And I get off track completely.
Oh,
but
my.
I think there's a video of it where there was some sort of scheduled plan for a whole bunch of people to go to Area 51.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And do the run into Area 51. And there's a video of there's a newscaster out there, and we're like, and there's this one person who's just doing the anime run behind him.
Oh, great,
anyway,
great.
So kind of humorous on that part.
So the kids run out at 2:17 in the morning, and there's only one kid that's left, and that's Alex. Teacher Justine walks in and says, "Where's all the kids?" Now, okay, I was harsh last week on Pamela Anderson, so I promise I'm not going to be harsh this week, right? I promise.
Okay.
But
you're allowed to be.
Well, I don't want to make people mad, especially HR. However, though, tell me, this actress, I like her? Question mark? Like it seems like
Julia Garner.
Yeah, it's like I like her? Question mark. It's like Hollywood's trying to force her on me, but not much. I like her in. Like I was not an Ozark fan. But I heard she was the star of that, essentially. She kind of took that one over. We reviewed Wolfman this year, and she was okay in it. The movie was bad. And I would argue in this movie, she's the weakest story out of all of them. Well, or is it just me?
I think... No. I'll agree with you only because hers is like the opening, right? You're still kind of settling in to what's going on a bit. And I'm all for her story. I think it makes sense, especially because it ends with her as well, too. Well, her and Josh Brolin, who plays Archer. By the way, this is the second movie they've been in together.
What was the first?
They were both in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For.
I'd never seen the sequel because I was upset about it, that they made a sequel.
Well, yeah. Sin City is one of those movies where, I don't know, I'm good after the first 20 minutes. I'm just like, oh my God, there's another hour of this, another hour and a half? Jeez, wrap it up. Anyway.
No, is it just me though? I mean, like, is it just me that I don't like her? Because I do, but then I don't. You know?
Are you still having trauma from Wolfman?
I'm having trauma from a lot of things that she's done. I mean, like, from stuff that she's done, she's not bad. It's just that she's not an actress that I'm just like, oh, she's in this movie. I'm excited to see her. You know, but I should, because Hollywood's telling me that I should.
So this is her 5th scary movie. I think, if my count is correct, and I think Julia Garner is honestly a powerhouse actress, and this might be just because of from what I saw in Ozarks, where she did steal that show. Because after a while, after like the second season or so, the show really just started to jump a shark, a bear, and a giraffe all at the same time. Like it just got so like, ugh. Somebody kill Wendy. Somebody kill her. I'll kill her. Give me the gun. Anyway, but she carried it. Julia Garner did, and she is an amazing actress. I said this in Wolfman too, where I feel like a lot of these parts don't really do her justice, and I'm waiting for, honestly, the role and the part to come through for her where she can really shine.
I would agree.
I think she's still playing it safe. I think she's still kind of taking on these roles where she's not like the leading lady so much. It's just kind of getting there, right? Because she's in Fantastic Four as well, too, as a Silver Surfer. And she's not the leading lady, but she's just kind of building up towards, kind of collecting that resume a bit more and her credits. And again, I would really like to see her in a bigger role.
If they make a female Fight Club, she would be great as Tyler Durden.
I think she could play it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be her kind of standout role right there. She's Silver Surfer? Okay, well. All right. But
yeah.
I don't like her. I don't like Justine in this movie. And I don't think the movie's upset with me that I don't like her. Like, from what I got from this movie is...
But what about it is it? Sorry to cut you off, but go ahead. What is it about her?
Okay, so it's a storyline. It's not the actress. It's the story now. So she comes to school... And everything unfolds perfectly, right? So she comes to school. Alex is there, can't figure it out. Then we cut to all the parents blaming her. She's nervous. She's scared to speak in front of people, right? The one thing you don't...
She should be.
She should be nervous. The one thing you don't do is after everybody's blaming you that their children are missing, you don't go to the liquor store and buy vodka. I mean, because it's a small town. People are going to judge you. We see that. People judge her, right? So you don't do that. You don't give people ammunition, right? Now, that doesn't give me reason not to like her, but that shows me that she makes bad choices. And then we find out also in the film that she's been let go from her previous job because she would drive kids home from school, which I think is nonsense. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and she also had a love affair with a teacher or something.
No, I think it was a hug. She hugged a student, right? Or was it a love affair with another teacher?
It was a love affair with the teacher, which goes with her track record because now she's also a homewrecker with a cop too,
which is her ex-boyfriend. And
right.
Yeah, she's an alcoholic, and you're right. They kind of do these one sentences where her previous job was more that she just disobeyed the policy, right? It wasn't anything that where you were just like, oh, well, that's fine. The kid was left outside for 4 hours and she had to, well, I'll drive you home kind of a thing. No, I get that. You're not supposed to do that. It's something that a very thoughtful person and caring person would do, but rules.
Right.
You took on this job, you signed the piece of paper, you know what the rules are, you broke those rules. So there's consequences for it. And yeah, I get that. And it seems like in her story, it's trying to make it seem like she does very much care. And we are completely led to believe that, right? That she's a very caring person to her class.
I would agree.
Yeah, but she oversteps her boundaries.
A lot.
All the time. Yeah. To the point where she's been told repeatedly by parents and by her supervisor that you should not be doing it. And to continue overstepping her boundaries, she calls her ex-boyfriend again, who's married, who we'll talk about her later, but who's married. And she's not only, going to a bar, but she's kind of rude at the bar. She's yelling at the bartender. She's buzzed, and she's wearing a black spaghetti strap top. I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you just had 18 students missing in your classroom. It's been a month. And you're at a bar, looking like you're picking up a guy, and you're going to liquor stores. Like, what are you doing, bud? She's getting hammered, bud. That's what it is she's being she's suspended with pay to go home, and while this whole thing blows over for the safety of her and for the school, it's probably a good move. And listen, that's probably lucky for her that she's only suspended until this gets blown over, because I would imagine that a lot of parents would be calling for her head and for her job. And
right.
If not doing it on their own accord rather than through any sort of official channels.
I totally agree with you. Like, this reminds me of stuff you see on YouTube or TikTok of teachers getting called into their office, and the principal's like, What's in your Stanley there, bud? Is that water? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I'm saying that is that I feel like if this movie didn't happen, give it another 5 years, and I think Justine would have been caught drinking on the job. You know what I mean? Like, she just seems not dirty, not a bad person, but she just makes very, very stupid decisions.
Well, she's an alcoholic. Same with Paul, the police officer, alcoholic, right? And it doesn't usually take much for them to relapse, right? I wouldn't know, but I mean, I can completely guess that somebody who's dependent so much on that, which, by the way, this movie has a theme completely on parasites, right? She teaches in her class. There was a moment of her kind of in a parasite, and I read this online where, like, basically there's the host, and then they are just completely victim to the parasite, right? So in this case, it's her and alcoholism, and Paul, it's him and alcoholism, right? And then the overarching story itself where the witch is controlling and taking over, kind of a thing. You could find parallels through all these characters.
Allegedly off air, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun or not, but you said that, I guess, some other theories that this is about school shootings.
Yeah, a lot of people, I tried to look online to see if the director had said any commentary about that, and nothing official that I had found. I guess I could try to research a bit more, so apologies if there actually is an answer out there that somebody knows and I'm not doing it justice. But yeah, the theory is because Josh Brolin had a dream, and in that dream he looks at his house or something like that. He's in the dream, and above his house a large assault rifle appears, and people were like, well, why is that there? And then people make the correlation that, like, oh, the quiet kid in class who got bullied is the one that contributes to taking out how many kids?
18
kids in his classroom, right? Oh, he was a quiet kid, kind of a thing. But I mean,
okay,
you could piece it together, because I think there was also a picture of a gun in the bedroom. But is it a reach? I don't think it's a very far reach. I think you can.
I actually just took it as Josh Brolin.
Theorize a lot.
Josh Brolin and his son were just hunters. Like, Josh Brolin seems like, because we get introduced to Josh Brolin next, too, right? We follow his story. And he's married, and he's completely just not even paying attention to his wife. He's so focused on the Ring doorbell camera footage. And when he has that nightmare, right, and you see the gun, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe he's just thinking, because he seems like a hunter kind of dad. You know what I mean? Because he's not loving to his son. He's not loving to his wife. He can only focus on finding the children, which is admirable, right? But he's all about Josh Brolin. Archer is.
Well, yeah, of course, he's very much. And this is where we kind of get glimpses. Oh, no, that's through Alex, right? But we get to see that he's kind of screwed up at work. He's a contractor, I think, right? And he's obviously not focused on his job a lot. He's spending a lot of time, as a parent would, worried about their missing child.
So there are some gripes that I have with this movie. And I know, again, I gave it a large, but there's something I don't understand yet. Now, I'm assuming the movie's already told us, because it seems like when we get Paul's point of view, that the police force in town's really not the best, right? But we follow Josh Brolin's story, which is story 2, and he's focused on the kids running out from the Ring doorbell. And all he does is something very simple that any normal detective would do. Let me look at the doorbell footage. Okay, the kid just runs straight. Okay, let's go around to the other parents and see where the kid's like. And he takes out a map, and he draws a line.
Yeah, this seems like...
That seems standard detective work to me.
Detective work. And this is a month after the incident, too.
Right. So but again, I think the movie, though, shows us halfway through that the police force is terrible. Because, I mean...
Yeah. I completely agree. It seems like also there's a bit of an issue with the police where a lot of people are trying to bug them about it. They seem to be overwhelmed, and they don't really know where to go on this. But again, like, they had the FBI involved, and they apparently went in and took I guess, perimeter of the house, of Alex's house. They talk to him and his parents. And we find out later that it seems like like a lot of red flags went off in that interview. And it's just like, right, well, that doesn't seem safe or right now. It seems like these parents are just kind of weird and like something's off about this family. They would be people of interest, I would think, especially later on when we see at the end of Justine's story when she follows Alex home and sees a lot of questionable things going on in the house. Like, one, all the windows are covered with newspaper and the parents are just kind of comatose on a couch.
Beautiful setup, by the way. She drives to the house because the principal's like, don't you go to that house. She's like, I'm going to go to the house. Don't you go. I'm going to the house. And she goes to the house. And the bushes aren't trimmed. The grass isn't mowed. There's newspapers all over the driveway. Yeah. And then she sees newspapers all covered in the window. And I'm like, that is sus right there, right? I am using Gen Z's term there. Sus. Proud of me?
Yes, I'm very proud of you, always.
And then she goes to the back.
You're so hip.
So hip. Fetch, though. I'm trying to make fetch happen again. She goes to the back.
Yeah, I think it could happen.
Yeah, I know, right? And she sees the parents kind of comatose. They have like markings all over their face. Great setup about what's going to happen. Now, unfortunately for me, I have friends outside of this show. Darn me and my charm. And for the sake of the show, I'm not going to say 100% what they said, but they're like, hey, man, what are you reviewing this week? Oh, I'm reviewing weapons. Oh, man, it's about the blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what? Oh, really? And they're like, yeah. So I was like, so that's all I knew. I knew nothing about the story structure, the characters, or nothing. I just knew about, the one thing. And I was just like, okay, how is that going to happen now, right? And I actually had a lot of fun with that. Knowing what it was going to be, I wanted to do the detective work, right? And be like, okay, how was this? So yeah, very, very suspicious. And also, too, what's also weird is that wasn't Justine in the car and then this woman in white just happens to walk by? She never comes back in the movie, does she not? Or did I miss it?
That's the mom.
No, the mom comes out with scissors, like acting all weird with scissors. But the scene prior to that, she's sitting in her car and there's a woman in white just walking by.
Oh, right.
Was that supposed to be just a person walking, I'm assuming?
You know what? I didn't pay any mind to it.
Okay. Yeah, because that scene is awesome, right? Like she's falling asleep in her car, right? The door opens. It's all dark. You can't see. And the mom, like, oh my God, everybody's great in this movie. Like, this mom is weird. And I didn't tell my wife what I knew. And she was like, why is the mom's arm like that? Kind of walking, weird. And she was like, I wonder if it's like a voodoo thing. I was like,
There you go, smart cookie. So at the end of Archer's story, we get the dream where he gets to see Gladys in the woods. This is the second time that we get to see this woman with the red hair and clown-like makeup, because at the end, or at Justine, when she's in her house, she also has a dream and she gets to see Gladys. So, and this one we get to see her again too. So obviously, as a viewer, you could take this as the threat, right?
is Gladys there? Is it an actual dream, or are they like to believe it's a dream?
I mean, they're dreaming. We get to see them in bed falling asleep and then like dreaming.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. Well, how do they know who Gladys is or what she looks like? And that's what I'm just asking.
They don't. They that's just it. So they don't have any knowledge of who this person is, but she's showing up in their dreams, scaring the crap out of them.
Fair enough. A big knee slap. I don't know why. Yes, I do know why. I can't believe I said this. But I'm so happy that his career has gotten to this point now, and I'm so happy that I feel this way. Josh Brolin knocks on this parent's house, right? And she's just like, no, I don't. Talks to a mom, and she's like, I don't feel comfortable showing you our footage. And he's like, okay. And he waits for the husband to come home while he's eating a Subway sandwich. And who's the husband? Knee slap. I slapped my knee. I was like, it's Justin freaking Long. This guy loves Justin Long. I hope I see him in Resident Evil. Justin Long for me is that actor now, where it's just fun to see him in these roles.
So I think I don't know if his wife, I think it was his wife, is played by Sarah Paxton.
Bill Paxton's daughter.
No, but Justin Long and Sarah Paxton were both in Barbarian.
Who was she in Barbarian? Was she the main girl?
No, I don't think I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. I was just curious.
Barbarian. She was Megan. She was the nursing video narration assistant. Megan. She was in Barbarian. So you have two people from the writer-director's first, or not, I guess not his first project, but his latest project in this movie as well too. So I like that when that happens. It's always fun to see Justin Long just kind of pop up.
So I'll move on after this, but what really done it for me for Justin Long, where I just loved him every time he's popped up, believe it or not, out of nowhere, was Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Yeah, I think
because
you said that, but a lot of his cameos are always fun.
Well, it's because like when we were younger, seniors and college age, he was doing Accepted, Jeepers Creepers, Waiting. He was doing those movies.
Yeah.
And to see him and Zach and Mary or whatever just being this ridiculous guy, I'm just like, okay, this guy's funny. So I was really just happy.
He makes friends with directors and he just pops up in their projects. Like he's in like all the Kevin Smith stuff now. He was in like Clerks 3. He was in 4:30 movie in his recent project.
Yeah. I just was really happy to see him. So that made me laugh. Therefore, I'm having a good time. Excuse me. So then the next story is Paul, right? The cop?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yep, on his patrol.
Sorry. So we don't know much about Paul yet, but to kind of sum it up with him, Paul's in from what I could tell, a very good relationship. His wife seems not too bad. She seems to take care of him. Hey, honey, take your pills. Go to AA. Like,
well,
he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does. She doesn't seem too bad.
She is the daughter of the police chief.
I've seen
Toby Huss.
I've seen that guy before, have I not?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
And
he plays. He's a lot of voices in he does a lot of voiceover work. He was a big voice in King of the Hill. I know him from Pete and Pete. He plays Artie, the strongest man in the world.
That's where I know him from recently. Okay, because I've been watching that recently. Okay.
Recently? It was from the 90s, right?
So,
do you want other stuff that he's been in?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about it real quick. What do you got?
Okay, because he plays Con and Cotton in that.
Right.
In King of the Hill. He's in all the TV shows, NCIS, Star Trek. He was in Maxine, in that trilogy.
What?
He was in Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I heard that we need to
Reno 911.
I heard we need to do the Maxine trilogy. Is that something that's worth our time?
I need to finish it. I've only started to one, and I guess I need to watch it.
Okay, that'll be on our list in the future. I know it's old, but one day.
Let's see. He's in Veep. A lot of TV shows.
He's a TV guy.
Ghostbusters.
The move, like OG Ghostbusters?
No, I think that this is the female one. Yeah. 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 He's just in a lot of projects as that guy.
Well, I said that
he's in 42.
So Paul's not really likable, but at this point in time, before we realize much about Paul, I feel bad for him, right? Because he seems like this guy who has an alcohol problem, but then his father-in-law is the chief of police, and he meaning Paul is always looking out for his father-in-law's acceptance, right? He just seems like that. He's that guy that's destined to marry this woman because that's the way it is.
Yeah, it feels like he's not necessarily a coward. He just kind of, I don't know, man, just gets told what to do kind of a thing, or doesn't have the willpower to say no to a lot of stuff. He gets pushed around a bit, right? By the way, this guy Alden Ironrich, am I saying that? Do you know IGR?
HR says no.
I think it's
Aaron Reich?
Thank you, HR.
All right. Well, I think he's overdue for the headphones right now.
The guy who plays Paul?
Yeah.
What have we seen him in that deserves to go?
Oppenheimer.
Don't know a minute, but okay.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear.
Okay.
Solo.
Is he the guy that played Solo?
Yeah, he plays Han Solo.
Okay, so Paul, who is the dude from Weapons, right? That's how I'm going to put him on right now.
Okay.
He's getting a gold headphones for Solo, Cocaine Bear, and also this movie, Weapons.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Oppenheimer too, so he should have gotten an Oppenheimer.
Well, we didn't start tracking until this time. Interesting, because I thought, okay, well, maybe this is going to jumpstart his career, because I didn't think he was terrible in Solo. I'm like the one person in the world that thought that Solo was a fun Star Wars movie, but that's me.
Sure.
But, okay, good for him. So, early in the film, too, during Justine's story, she's getting liquor again, and this woman in red, who, I don't know who this was, kind of follows her into the liquor store and then just starts beating the crap out of Justine and says, "You screwed my husband." And Justine says, "No, I didn't. I did not." Until we see Paul's point of view where he meets her at a bar, and boy, howdy, he does. So that makes me realize that he's not a good guy. But even before that, driving down the road, he sees this bum, if you will, trying to get in, breaks in, right? He starts chasing him, right? I kind of smiled because we get the point of view of the car, kind of reminded me of Naked Gun, which we didn't get, right? A little bit when he's chasing the car. And then gets the guy, right? Has him stop, and the guy's like, "Dude, I worked there, man. What are you doing?" And Paul's like, do you have any guns, knives, anything to stick me with? Nope. And what does he do when he puts his hand in his pocket? Get stuck with the needle. And his first reaction is punch the guy in the face.
Yeah, well, he freaks out.
Okay, so
no one likes to get punched with the needle, I'm sure, or punctured with the needle.
Okay, so I have a question on that. Now, I'm not no big city lawyer, right? Uh-huh. Neither are you. But all that's being recorded, we find that out too. I mean, like, if Paul is a real cop and he goes, "You have anything in your pockets that will stick me?" and the perpetrator says no, and he gets stuck with a needle, he's still wrong for punching the dude? I mean,
it depends on the judge.
Yeah, could have got him AIDS. They bring that out later in the movie. He's like, "Do you have AIDS?" He's like, "I don't know." No.
That's kind of it. Like, if anything would have happened, like, I don't know. But maybe he could have been more careful. Maybe he should have done a pat down before actually, like, sticking his hand in. I don't know.
Okay.
Before actually getting stabbed. But, yeah, he probably was just forgetting to do all that. But, I don't know. I mean, again, I think it depends on the judge. I think the judge could easily see that and be like, all right, case dismissed.
So one reason why I do really like Paul's story is it doesn't follow everybody else's stories, really. It's just about him being a jerk and being a bad cop. Like, it has really nothing to do with nothing. And it's and what I like about it, it's a nice break.
It sets up a different angle.
Right, because it's a nice break in the movie, man.
Well, yeah, because we've already been introduced to a few characters here, and now we get to see what's going on with these other characters in this day that we're kind of keeping track of, these 2 or 3 day period of what's happening here. And they're not going to show you something that's irrelevant to the story. So this guy obviously has a place in this story here, right?
Right, but before I knew what was going on, what the other stories are going to be, I was just kind of breathing fresh air. Because I'm just like, okay, we've had 2 stories where they're trying to find the kids. This guy doesn't care about the kids. He's worried about himself. And again, I liked his wife. I mean, his wife calls him, is just like, "Hey, go to AA, bud," and hey, do this, bud. Like make sure you. I mean, his wife's beautiful. She seems nice. She didn't give me any reason why he would cheat on her. I guess he's just weak. I would rather choose his wife, than Justine. I'm just saying.
Again, there's that pushover kind of a thing. Justine says, "Hey, let's meet up." And he goes, "Oh, okay, I guess I will."
Right.
"Oh, hey, have a drink." And he's an alcoholic. "Oh, okay, yes, I will." And obviously we know that leads to, the one night kind of a thing. And, "Okay, yes, I will." And he's just so sheepish about it. Again, he can't say no. And, good on his wife, played by, who was it, June Diane Raphael. And I don't know, good for her for getting a cameo in this movie, by the way, too. Seems like she's just there for that one line, and then she's it. But that's okay. She did her job. But, yeah, like, Paul's a pushover, man.
He's a very big pushover. I liked his wife. She was fine. And then, of course, the daughter has to tell Daddy what's going on. And now Paul and the chief are no longer cool. And this is where Paul walks outside, and then he sees the bum again. Cut to, I told you off air, my favorite story, because it's such the most obscure story starting out, but it ties it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is where we start getting a few bones here.
Right.
Where Alex is his name, right? No, Alex is the kid.
James.
James,
yeah, because James' story starts off just like Paul's. It has nothing to do with what's going on in this movie. But as it slowly progresses and moves on, I'm just like, oh my God. And then it sets up all these great things. So James is, what was he doing? Was that crack?
Meth. I think
meth.
he was, yeah, but obviously he'll do any drug, and he's homeless.
Okay, so he is a meth addict. One of my interesting things I found of him is that why he's talking on the phone. If he's homeless, I don't know how he has money to pay for a phone bill, but he's walking by cars, and he's just randomly opening car doors to see if something's unlocked so he can steal something. Perfect. I like that.
Car hopping.
Right, I like that. That's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the thing that we used to call it. It's obviously just stealing, but I don't know. When we were kids, we used to call it garage hopping, when we go around the sub and go into, see people who left their garage doors open, run into their garage, and we were looking for just beer, because usually people would have a fridge in their garage, so we would just run in there, grab some beer. We called it garage hopping or G hopping, and then it's a gateway. Obviously, you could put that to car hopping or sea hopping. I'm not cool. I'm dumb as hell, obviously, for saying all of that. It goes by different names. But, yeah, listen. He's going around there just kind of seeing what car is open and grabbing anything that he can take.
Did you say sea walking because that was short for crip walking?
Can you do that? Gangsta.
No, I'm not a Williams sister at the Super Bowl.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great callback. Good for you.
I'm mad at her at that still. Because because ultimately it's a gang, and they kill people.
Yeah, just like her relative.
I don't know who her relative is.
I think was it Uncle?
Yeah.
Look, everyone else, do your Googling and
Okay.
figure out the rest of that.
Sorry. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster.
Gangsta.
So we find out that James doesn't work at that place. That he's just trying to get stuff so he can get some meth, right? And what does he do? He gets. Oh, he steals like a little kid's like tablet who wasn't going to get any money, but then he walks. No, I'm sorry. Doesn't he walk to Alex's house by accident because he sees all the newspapers on the driveway?
Yeah. Clearly he sees that nobody's home there, so he goes to the house and is scoping it out and goes in through the upstairs, I believe, right?
He goes upstairs and he doesn't see anybody, goes to the main level, sees the parents in their comatose voodoo state. At this point in the movie, you still don't know what's going on. I don't think Gladys is even mentioned yet. And he realized the parents are just like sitting there, so he steals a bunch of silverware, right? And he gets out of the house, right? Like, no, he doesn't. No, not yet. He goes down to the basement.
Yep.
And this is where, for the first time in the movie, we see all the kids standing there Blair Witch style.
Yep.
And he's just like, oh, no. And he runs out of the house at that point, does he not?
Yeah. Wasn't it like the parents got up out of their catatonic state and kind of like
Went after him.
moved around and he kind of freaked out and and then he ran out of the house.
Yeah. And
then he went to go turn in at the pawn shop, and that's when he saw the flyer for the $50,000. He calls the police, and he was going to the police station to get more information, and that's when he sees Paul. Freaking out because he's like, I told you to leave.
And Paul chases after him and stuff, and then James is like, no, I found the kids. Right? And we go to the house. Paul goes in first, which I was like, oh no, what's going to happen to Paul? And then James
leaves Alex in the car.
Yeah, he locks him in the car, and then James is in the car for hours, right? God knows how long he's in the car for. But it's dark. It was daylight when Paul went in. It was nighttime when Paul came out and drags James back in. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Then we get two more stories, pretty much. We get the principal story, which this one is good too, because this really almost bookends everything, right? Where the principal's talking to Justine. He has his issues with her, but this is where he wants to... Justine is pushing for him to have a meeting with Alex's parents.
Yep, a wellness check or whatever it is.
And this is where the secretary of the school, to the principal, she's like, Aunt Gladys is here. And I was like, who's Aunt Gladys? And then this female Pennywise comes in. And I'm sorry. I don't know if I sound sick a little bit or weird, but I'm in love. As soon as she walked in, I was like, oh my God, who is this actress that's playing this? She is phoning in. No, I'm sorry, she's not phoning in. She's having a blast. Like, you could tell she was in the makeup chair saying, let's go. I pictured Lady Gaga doing this role. Like, just, this woman is amazing.
It's a character.
Oh,
it's a wild character. And Amy Madigan, again, wife of Ed Harris, is really having fun, I think, playing this role. You could tell that really it just shines through on camera. It's the first time we get to actually see her in the flesh.
We see her in the flesh, and she's like, oh, I am Aunt Gladys. And I'm assuming at this point that she is Aunt Gladys on Mom's side. And the principal's like, hey, how they doing? And she's like, oh, they're sick, I don't know what she said they had, but something stupid. And he was like, okay, that's cool. What'd she say?
Did she say they have tuberculosis or something like that?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, tuberculosis. And he's like, hey, that's cool. No big deal. I just, since they called a wellness check, I have to go. I have to talk with them. And then she steals like a ribbon from his, right? So then we cut a few days later, and we're going to the principal's house, and he's with his husband, and they both wear Mickey Mouse T-shirts. My wife pointed that out.
Yeah.
And Gladys knocks on the door, and she arrives. She's, oh my God, can I come in? The bus. And my wife goes, oh, she's a vampire. And I was like, why do you think she's a vampire? She's like, because she's not coming in unless she's invited in.
Okay.
I was like, oh, good. Okay, she's a vampire maybe. She's a day walker at this point.
Yep.
Okay, I'm with you. And then...
she said, I had to look it up because I was like, what the hell did she say? A touch of consumption. And yes, that is tuberculosis. So that it might be kind of giving us a hint that she's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about her. The last person I knew that tuberculosis was Arthur Morgan. Thank you.
Good for you.
You're proud of me on that one? Do you know who that is?
I'm always proud of you.
Stop lying.
But no, let me Google it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's the last person I knew of that died of tuberculosis. Now, here he is, folks. He's looking it up.
I would say There we go.
Yep, he's
Red Dead.
yep.
Okay, I get you. I never played the game.
So and I won't talk long, I swear. But what makes that game so much fun is that you get coughed on like in the second or third mission in the game, and then you play the next 20, 30 hours of the game without thinking of nothing until in the middle of the mission you just pass out, and the doctor you come to in the game, the doctor's like, yeah, you're dying of tuberculosis. Sure.
Yep.
So
listen, tuberculosis has killed everybody.
right. So this shows us that Gladys has been around for a while. So then, oh shoot. Okay. So she steals the ribbon, and this is where it clarifies that she is a witch, right? Because she's in the kitchen and she's having fun. She's telling the principal, "Give me a bowl of water," and he's like, "You don't want a cup?" She goes, "No, a bowl of water." I'm not going to explain myself. Just give me a bowl of water.
She really gets in and starts doing her stuff. Yeah.
And she takes out a stick or a twig, and she starts wrapping, cuts the guy's hair, blah, blah. And then what I found cool was she stabs herself, has a little bit of blood, and then as soon as she snaps the twig, principal snaps and just kills his husband. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm like, oh, dude, she is a witch. This movie's about a witch.
And viciously, too. Yeah.
Oh, my God. He headbutts him to death, right? To where, like, you can see just his teeth. It's great. And then she takes Justine's hair while all this is going on. And then she snaps that twig, and he just snaps, no pun intended. And he runs to Justine no matter what to get her, kind of zombified.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, I had no idea what I was getting into in this movie besides, now that we talked about it, yes, my friend said, what do you think about her being a witch? And I was like, what are you talking about? But YouTube released like a 2 or 3 minute clip of the movie.
Okay.
Kind of preview the movie before it came out. And it was Justine and Arthur talking to the gas station out of nowhere. This guy runs with like darkness on his mouth and
yeah, with Marcus.
Yeah, and I was like, is weapons about zombies? What's this about? I didn't know. And
yeah, it's a nice little mystery.
Loved it. So then Marcus finds Justine and Arthur, and he tries to kill her because Gladys knows that Justine's getting a little too close.
Yep.
And he doesn't succeed. What is great, too, is that Justine gets in her car, drives away. Arthur gets in his truck, tries to follow Marcus, and when Marcus crosses intersection, just obliterated, destroyed.
Yeah. Gets hit by a car and just splattered on the street.
Splattered on the street, and then that sets us up for a story, well, the final story, right?
Here we have Alex's story here. We get the answer. Finally, we get some obviously some closure to what's all happening here. What, when, where, why, and how.
Were you excited because how this movie played out is that they would tell somebody's point of view, and then the screen would cut to black, and it would just be white text that says a person's name. So when it went black and it said Alex, I'm ready at this point. I am over the hill on the roller coaster. I'm ready to take this ride. Like, where is this going?
Absolutely, because all parts point to the house. And so now we're getting the story about what's going inside the house. Sad as hell, by the way, too. Very sad. And the director apparently had said that this part really was, like, real for him. I guess he had alcoholic parents, and he kind of had to become the child caretaker here. Yeah, so the part where Alex's parents get put under the spell by Gladys because she comes in, which is just crazy sad, by the way, too. And he has to like feed for them. He has to go buy soup every day and feed them. And yeah, I guess the director kind of really spoke that this was kind of real for him.
So, I mean, this is real for him. Is the movie telling us that this is a metaphor for alcohol parents, or is it just this movie's telling us that there's a witch that's... I
think he described it as like that what was or should be a warm home, a safe home, that something foreign had come into this home and disrupted the peace. And now, because of that, you have to live this life, this new life that is not normal. In his case, I think he described it with alcoholic parents. So, instead of it being Gladys coming in and destroying the house, it was alcohol that came in and destroyed his house, kind of a thing. And yeah.
Okay. Metaphor taken. I got it. So the dad seems very loving. The mom, we don't get much from, right? We don't know much from her, but she seemed very caring. But the dad picked him up from school, and he's just like, "Hey there, Iceman." I was like, "Oh, Top Gun reference."
We get
That's
to see
cute,
him being bullied as well, too.
We see him getting bullied. Now, at this point in the movie, do we know that the bully is Archer's dad, or did I miss that?
No, you can piece it together because his name is Matthew, and Archer his son is named Matthew, and so you can kind of put those, together and say like, all right, well, that's kind of what it is. But yeah.
And Archer himself is a bully. You said that off air, so I would agree with you on that. Yeah, we see him getting bullied, but I saw a lot of myself in this Alex kid, right? He just seemed he didn't seem like a popular kid. He didn't seem like a nerd. He just seemed like an average kid.
Yeah, he's
just a regular kid. He didn't seem weird.
He's just chilling. He just has his stuff, and he was a smaller kid that got picked on. So yeah.
So then the dad says, and this is where the questions are going to come into play with the Gladys prequel, and we can kind of psychoanalyze it here, I guess, but we'll find out later. But he was like, "Hey, does he say your great aunt Gladys, or does he say your aunt Gladys?"
It is the mom's aunt.
So this comes to the question: what do you think? Because the movie doesn't specify. Is this actually Aunt Gladys, or is this a perpetrator? Because mom and dad say in the movie that they haven't seen Gladys in 15 years, and she didn't even come to their wedding. But you would think, as soon as they see her, you would go, "You're not my Aunt Gladys."
I don't know. I feel like it's a better story that she's not actually blood related, that she just kind of found a way in, really, whether it be through some sort of her coven, or I don't know how this whole thing works with her witch. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe it is blood, and maybe that's why she uses the parents to just kind of do her bidding, rather than it be anything like where she's draining the life force out of everybody else, which is what we get later on. And the reason, she's very sick, she's dying, right? And so she's trying to find different solutions for doing it. And it seemed like at first she was doing it to the parents. Like she had them, yes, exactly. And she was draining the life, and she's like, well, this isn't working. So she asks Alex for his help, and she said, I need you to bring an item from every kid in your classroom. He gets the name tags. He's only doing so because he does not like Gladys being there. He hates it. And the promise from her is that, like, if she gets better, then she will leave. And in order for her to get better, Alex needs to go get these name tags or get the items so that she can do her thing, get better, and then she'll leave.
Best scene in the movie, where Alex comes home and mom and dad are at the kitchen table, and Gladys is there, looking like Gladys, just being her. And he's just like, I want you to go. And she's just like, no, I'm not going to go until you get me what I want, kind of thing, And you're not allowed to tell anybody about
otherwise,
because watch this. And she's like, yeah. And she like snaps her fingers or does something. And she does something. And her parents grab forks and start stabbing their faces with these forks. I'm just like, oh my God. So that would scare any 10-year-old boy. And then the interesting thing about this whole movie, like we said, is Josh Brolin's character figured it out by looking at cameras. But this has been going on for a month, and no detective, nobody's seen Alex just going and buying Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Because he's not only feeding his parents, he's now feeding all the kids too.
Yeah, and it seemed like Justine kind of figured it out as well too, because she was persistent in following up on Alex, and it seemed like her and Archer kind of figured it out at the same time, kind of a thing, and that's why you get the last part of the story, we get them showing up at the house.
Yeah, so how did they get there? So Josh Brolin saves her from Marcus, and then he goes to the hospital, has bruises, scrapes, and cuts. They're walking out together, and he's just like, I want to show you something. And he shows her the map where this line is interconnecting, and the line is the children running out. And Justine's like, oh my God, that's Alex's house. And he's like, let's go, bud. And this is where they go. Again, though, before we get into that, I just, God, the Gladys story is so good. It really is good. I mean, like, it's just, like, I just, like, the parents and how they acted. And then, like, the funny thing is that the beginning of the movie was all about why these kids went missing and why they all ran like that at 217. At this point in the movie, that doesn't matter anymore, which is really good storytelling, because it was a small little thing that grew into something really big, And the kids being missing, I didn't find myself caring about anymore. Truly. Because I want to know more about what's going on with Gladys, right?
It gives you a lot of questions that you're asking, and you're hoping to find something here, right?
Right. And then Gladys is like, and she's like, I will take all the, like you said, I will do what I got to do to get healthy, and then I'm out. Of course, you don't believe her. I don't believe her. Yeah. She's lying, right? But also maybe she's not, because I thought about this too, not to make this drag, but I'm just like, okay, she's been around since tuberculosis time, right? So this woman knows how to move, right? It's been a month, and people are starting to sniff.
Yes.
So you would think that, she would move from place to, so maybe she's not telling a lie to Alex. Maybe she's telling him the truth.
She's dying. Like, she's clearly sick, and I think she's just kind of trying anything to make it work. So that's what's where we're at. So maybe before the prequel, we'll see a healthy Gladys doing her stuff.
So you think that this is her first time doing something like this?
No. I don't think so at all. I think this is her first time doing it in this volume, in this a lot. This maybe doing it to one or two people at a time is a little bit more her speed, right?
Because she's desperate.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. Like, she will go into the village, take a hair off of somebody, go back home, do the thing, and keeps that person in the basement while she just drains the life out of that person, lives life immortal. Boom, there you go. But this isn't working this time. She's sick, so she has to try something different. And so she tries the big get, right? The big score. Says, Alex, I need you to grab 18 children for me and let's see if this can work here. And
I really, really dig your theory.
I think that's
that, I dig it. I dig it.
I think that's
good.
That's kind of what I got out of it, right?
Yeah, because I feel like there was a lot of scripts on this one, right? So the movie's getting ready to end to where they're upstairs. Meaning the parents are guarding the door like guard dogs, and Gladys says to Alex, "Whatever you do, don't cross the salt line." And then I'm like, I want to cross the salt line. Why? And then Arthur and Justine enter the house, and I could see in the background, in the very corner in the dining room, in the corner was James.
James
right?
and Paul are
waiting,
also
kind of just standing like statues with the salt borders as well too.
Right.
So as soon as Arthur and Justine cross those salt barriers, they come running, right? James comes after Archer, which is pretty funny because he's like half the size. So Archer's just picking him up and throwing him across the room.
I love this part. You told me before, because you saw it a day or two before me, that this movie is funny. There's some dark humor to it. The only thing I laughed up to this point was when Arthur woke up and yelled the swear that you and I would do in that dream. That was funny, how he reacted. It's funny because it's true kind of thing. But the Arthur James fight is just absolutely hilarious because you're right. Arthur's so big. Thanos himself knocks this guy down, and then the camera just stays on this guy, and then he just wakes up and goes, rah, and goes after him again. It's like, and he hits him harder every single time. He just gets up. He just constantly goes like a zombie.
While that's happening,
right?
Paul is fighting with Justine. They have a nice struggle in the kitchen. Eventually, Justine is able to grab Paul's gun, ends his life, and then does the same because doesn't James kind of put Archer kind of like through the basement door? He sees the kids, and
then Justine
shoots him, kind of a thing. So they have a moment, but then, what happens?
So what happened? Yeah, so I find this interesting too. Is that Justine is getting choked by Paul, and she shoots him in the throat with the gun, and he acts like nothing happens, and he keeps going. Shoots him in the brain, and he's dead. So Paul's dead at this point, right? This is our
So Archer's going to the basement searching for Matthew. Gladys then is able to enchant Archer and have him,
because she was down there feeding.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
she was down there like a little cave troll. Blah.
I know that was it.
Yeah, kind of a little flashlight scene there. She's able to enchant him, and he's starting to attack Justine. At the same part, Alex is upstairs trying to go into the room because he feels like he can kind of end this whole thing going into the room, right? And he kind of does, right? But his parents are attacking him. Smart kid, man, really smart kid. Where doesn't he take the tree, the enchanted tree that Gladys is using to kind of have everyone turn into these weapons, and he takes like a ribbon from each thing or whatever. He enchants it so that all the kids are now attacking Gladys.
Right, and Gladys is down in the kitchen while Archer's is choking Justine out, and Gladys is on her high horse going, "I'm Gladys. I'm the greatest witch of all time." And then when the boy snaps it, like Gladys knows something happened.
Yeah, exactly. And that's such a great scene to have 18 kids running through a neighborhood after Gladys.
Absolutely love it. Josh Brolin drops her, but he snaps out of it, so he's not zombified. Gladys is running, and I can't mimic it, but she's like running and flailing her arms going, ha, ha, because she's an old lady. And these kids are just running through doors, running through glass windows, getting their point of views of it, just going, tearing up the neighborhood. It was funny.
Yeah, it was great.
I loved it. My favorite shot is when there's a random guy mowing the lawn, and, Gladys runs between the two houses. And the kids follow her to eventually where the kids catch up to her and literally rip this woman apart.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, this movie went there, And of course, the scene that makes everybody go, is she's screaming, her mouth's open, and then the kids put their hands on the top and the bottom of her mouth.
Yeah, they
and
rip it
her
in
head
half.
open that way, Classic. I call BS on that, but that's okay. I don't think anybody can really
No, we
do
talked
that.
about that before where... Yeah, it's what movie was it? What movie did we do? Huh?
King Kong.
No.
King Kong. I don't know.
Oh man.
Eddington?
No. What movie have we done recently? Man.
No.
Let me look at this. Let me look at the schedule. Where I could have swore that we had talked about it, where somebody had got their head ripped off. Either way, she gets her head ripped off. Archer's spell is broken, so he stops killing Justine. Everyone else remains kind of in like this catatonic state, right?
Which the movie doesn't have to tell me. I got it automatically. I got it immediately. That was like, oh, the longer that you're in this trance, the more effective you're going to be, right? Because Archer was in it for
28 years later was the scene that we talked about.
We should have thought about. Thought about that.
Oh boy,
we're bad reviewers for that. And Gladys is dead. Arthur doesn't care about Justine anymore. Nobody cares about it. Arthur doesn't care about Paul or James or nothing.
It's
He just
Archer,
goes,
not
and
Arthur.
gets
I don't
Matthew.
know if you're saying Arthur.
Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Archer, I'm sorry.
Kip?
That was totally my fault. But Archer,
Kip or Kit?
hey, it's Kippers.
Okay.
He is so. I mean, again, I can't fault Archer because he doesn't care about anybody else, not even the kids. He doesn't even care about the kids. He just wants to get his kid.
I get that. I don't care
Get
about
his
those other
kid.
kids. I don't love them.
And he runs away, and then we just get a still shot, of the boy just staring off in the distance. Like you said in the beginning of the show, we had a voiceover that was added. I didn't need that, right? I didn't care to know a year later the kids started to talk again. I didn't need it because I already got
some
it.
Have
You know what I
started
mean? Like
in the years that follow, that some kids have even started to speak again. But Alex's parents are done.
yeah, they're in a psych ward
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Not a psych
and then
ward,
he lived
but
with a different aunt.
not a witch. We hope.
We don't know.
Which I would like to see that sequel.
We'll see.
You're my aunt, huh? You're my aunt. So I started the show off with the large. I'm going to end the show with the large. Like, Eric, you have said, and I remember this too, a few times in our tenure of doing this show, like, what kind of movie do you like? You know what I mean? And this is it. I mean, you know me well enough to know that this is the kind of story that I like. Not necessarily that it's about a witch, but just the way the story moved, the way it was structured, and the different point of views you get of other people.
Yeah.
The movie tells you one thing, but then a whole nother thing afterwards. And boy, do I like me some Gladys. I know we've given a lot of movies larges this year. So if you give this movie a large, this is going to be like the 9th large bag this year, which is a good sign, right? Because some years we've barely given 5. But so that's my 2 cents. I think this movie is great. Everybody needs to go check this movie out. I absolutely love this movie. So Eric, what is your popcorn rating?
So don't hate me on this. I'm giving it a medium. Now, I enjoyed this movie very much. Not to say that I didn't, but I feel that it started off very, very strong and then just kind of steadily went downhill. Not a sharp slope downhill, but I think that ending was a bit too straightforward for me. I think I would like to see a bit more from Gladys as far as her like taunting. Maybe kind of like in the same way like Pennywise did. I enjoyed those dream sequences. I don't know if I feel bad for Alex or if I don't know, like that whole last scene, like I get it. Okay, witch, sick, doing this thing. I get it. But it just at the part just seemed, I don't know, man, like kind of like a Hansel and Gretel kind of thing, where is a woman who is just trying to consume children for her life, but at the end getting killed by children. And I get it. I really do. And I was entertained by it. I'm having difficulty trying to think of a different ending without completely having it making it a different movie. You know what I mean? But I think that I was so intrigued by the premise. 18 kids. Is it 18 or 17? 18 kids.
HR will correct us.
That leave in the middle of the night and the town is just crazy. You know what I mean? Just thrown. They don't know what's going on. I like that. Great mystery. I like the way the movie is shot with all these different points of view, and we get to kind of see the story come together that way. I think that's great. I liked everything about that. It's really cool. But again, and this is just me, I feel like, and I like Gladys, but I feel like that ending maybe just like could have been for like a different, like she's just trying to like have him in the basement to like suck the energy out of him. And like when the police comes over, she can just kind of move them into the backyard kind of a thing. It seemed like all the flags were there and nobody followed up on them. And I don't know, like there's just something about it where I think, as entertained as I was, I think I would have preferred to see something else.
Okay. I mean, I don't agree.
Yeah. No, I get it. It seemed
yeah.
like online too. I'm reading a lot of the reviews, and people just like me are not necessarily upset or like let down. I think that they were just kind of maybe surprised on how straightforward this ending and movie was. Flat out.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, that's why
it's not. I'm not trying to say that it is a bad thing at all. I'm not trying to say it's a strength or weakness of this movie, because the storytelling was great. The characters were fun. I enjoyed this movie, but I think, again, I don't know what else I would have liked to have seen as the ending. I think I would have to really take some time and like have a conversation with a bunch of different people and like, here's what their input is. Or maybe we'll get more of an answer when we see the Gladys prequel kind of a thing. I get the metaphors in the movie, but it is what it is.
I love the fact that the movie is straightforward at the end, because I really feel like what's great is that the movie turns over on its head. Like the movie says, the marketing, everything says 18 students went missing at 2:17 at night, and we don't know why. But that's not the story. And that's the fun part, is that for a good hour and a half, maybe an hour of this movie, it's all about why these kids are missing. But by the time you get to Alex's story / Gladys's story, you forget about that, because Gladys steals the movie.
Yeah, she absolutely does.
And so that's why I dig it, is because it's not
maybe
the
something
movie.
A bit more with Gladys kind of showing powers on the police, because you had mentioned before that the police really don't do anything in this movie. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, kids are missing. Hey, we're on it. Don't worry about it. No, you don't do your thing. We're the police. We'll do our thing. And then they proceed to really do nothing. Well, what do you want us to do? We interviewed the parents of Alex. They seem fine. We don't know, kind of a thing. And I don't know if like having them be in on it or them being enchanted or under the spell would do something, or I don't know, maybe extend Gladys's reach and power, if that would help at all. I'm throwing it out there, but I'm trying to give some ideas. But
I just think that the chief of police wasn't a good chief, and he was more focused on his son-in-law and wasn't really focused on anything else. I mean, he even said to Josh Brolin, he's like, look, I'm a parent, I get it, like if this would happen, blah, blah, but let me do my job. And he's not, because all that we see the chief is caring about is his son-in-law.
Yeah, it's kind of a usual thing. Maybe,
so
I feel like anything I have is just kind of,
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
Well, I do not agree with your review. I respect it, but I also have to respect the rules that movie guys have.
Did you feel let down? You wanted me to give it to Large so you can make this?
I do not. No. You do your review, because we have strict rules in Movie Guys podcast, and the rule clearly states that we've never broken is that a movie is nominated for Film of the Year if two hosts give it a large back.
Yeah.
And we didn't. I gave it a large. I think it's great. You gave it a medium, and that's okay. There's some movies. How about this? We're not going to do it, but in a different world, would you take Thunderbolts out and replace this one? Because we gave Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I did, but not for this. We had talked about it before, and maybe even during that, but not for the story and not for like the production, but we enjoyed it, or at least I did, just for the banter, right? Just because of the chemistry that everyone had, just for that team, which was enjoyable. Was it enough to carry it through? I guess so, if I gave it a large, because I liked everyone that much.
We did.
But it's the same reason why I think we liked Black Widow's movie.
Yeah, we did like Black Widow's movie. Nobody else
Yeah.
did.
Oh, but because of the banter, just because of those characters together work. They do. And no matter how bad the story is for anything else, those characters working together can carry through a bad story. I feel like again, this
I
one,
agree.
it's not a bad story. It's entertaining. I don't know. It maybe just didn't hit the way that I wanted it to, and because it was.
That's okay. That's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I will accept it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. Eric, thanks so much for joining me. I am upset that you didn't give it a large, but I will move on.
I'm the bad guy. My fault.
Have a good night.
Though, not 1080p. If that helps.
What's the difference between 1080i and 1080p?
Whatever it is, my eyes are not going to be able to tell the difference. I know there's some people who are going to be like, oh, well, it's this and that. It's like, dude, my eyes are getting worse by the day. Okay, it's
Yeah.
I can't see it. I have to take a minute to look at my phone for my eyes to focus in on that. Telling me I gotta tell the difference between what's the difference between a 4K and a 8K and a 2K and a whatever the hell K. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get through the day.
You know what I
My eyes
consider
hurt.
to be old?
What's that?
Is when you have to blow up the text buttons on your phone to make it bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's when you
listen
know it's
to
bad. So I'm not got there yet.
everything that I have is zoomed in now. My computer, I had the two big monitors. It's not because I want to be cool. I'm not. It's because I can't see.
It's true. Am I a horrible person? Where
No.
every time I put, hold on. Am I a horrible person where every time I put on a white baseball hat and I wear it backwards, I think of Columbine?
That's the first thing you go for?
100%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because it was documented that the killers were going after white hats, and I guess the jocks wore backwards white hats. So
Okay then.
that was a thing. I was big into Columbine, like, because it happened when I was 99, so 11, 12. It was like the first real school shooting that I can, think of.
Yeah.
Big news everywhere, and so I've watched tons of documentaries because I was just completely fascinated why these kids will completely snap. And in the documentary, there is them, like, they videotape themselves. And they were like, we're going after the white hats. Those are all the jocks that make fun of us. And I guess in Columbine at that time, all the jocks looked like me right now. And I'm just like, so every time I put on my white hat, it's like, Columbine.
All right then. Well, you made yourself a target.
Just like I believe that Katy Perry's John Bonet.
Yeah, that's a different conspiracy. That's the one I can get on board with.